Stacey Conley. I'm in charge of Community Relations and Member Services at the Belmont Media Center, and I want to welcome you to our gallery here called Gallery at BMC. And tonight we have the art reception for a local art group called Art Night. It's a series of probably 12 women, a group of about 12 women, incredibly talented, incredible variety of art. And in the background you can hear Allison singing and Annie on the piano and Allison on the bass. And I'd like to introduce you to some of the artists and show you some of our work. We're at the Belmont Media Center at 9 Lexington Street in Waverly Square, right across from Shaw's and Belmont Car Wash. The hours here are 12 to 8 on Monday through Friday and Saturday 12 to 5. And our website is belmontmedia.org. You can check out the current exhibit, upcoming exhibits, and also see what we offer in terms of local community access television. I'm so tired of playing through. I want to introduce you to Sandy Kane, who's one of the artists in Art Night. And I'd love, Sandy, if you could tell us a little bit about your picture that's here. I love this. It's one of my favorites.
This is a multimedia work that was two pieces that I kind of collaged into one because I worked on something and I didn't like it. I took it apart. I actually liked the trees, so I kept the trees as a frame. And this background is a photograph that I took into Photoshop and Illustrator just to make it more sketchy and surreal. And I used that with white paint, so now it's just toner on paint. And the Betty Davis figure was also from a photograph that I Xeroxed, and then I used this clear gel medium to get sort of a translucent effect with her body. And then she was actually three pieces. She was Betty Davis in the mirror, and I didn't like the other two pieces, so I cut them out. I just sort of cut her out with like an outline. And I decided it needed more like sparkle and snow, so I used a glitter and some kind of really sparkly paint in the background.
And I don't know if you can see from the photos, but the tree is made out of yarn. It's yarn that's been glued down.
Yarn with glue and paint. And this is a separate canvas, so there's actually two canvases going on here. So it has sort of a diorama effect. And she's the snow queen. Some people say it's sort of like Narnia. I think she's also represents female glamour, maybe a little standoffish. And I also just happen to love snow and trees, even though I don't love winter, right? So I like the idea of snow and trees. It's kind of romantic.
Thank you. And this is Sandy's pastel? Oil pastel.
That I did based on a photograph from last summer of my own garden. So that's kind of my home piece. You know, I like outdoors, I like gardening. I'm not that great at it, but I appreciate flowers and beauty and things that are growing. So that's sort of the good stuff about home.
Excellent. And you have two photographs over here. And I love these.
Those are both from Boston Harbor Island. I did a trip last summer. That's from Penix Island, Oil Fort there, and that is from George's Island. Those are both wonderful places to go and explore with kids or just alone. I think it's fun. The rooms are really romantic.
And this really touches on the home thing because it looks like a little nest made out of rusted metal or something. Is that metal?
It's actually
it's twine, rope.
Coil of like some kind of steel cable probably from the old shipping days. I don't even know exactly what it is. It's a remnant. I also call it remnant. This is an old stairwell, I think, so
Great.
Before it goes Penix Island. I just had a great time there. I think we'll just go there.
And what other type of art do you do?
I also make jewelry, and I used to sew, and I've been trying to quilt, you know that. But
And so tell me a little bit about this art group.
well, you know a lot about it too, Stacey, but it's mostly about Belmont and Watertown. I'm in Watertown. Women, and we get together once a month, and it's whatever you want to bring to the table, so to speak. So.
All right, well, thank you.
Thanks
Awesome.
a lot.
All right. This is Lisa Giglierio, one of the photographers of Art Night, one of the artists of Art Night. Lisa's a photographer. And Lisa, can you tell me a little bit about your pictures here?
Sure. So I wanted to photograph the beach because it's my home away from home. So this is Point Judith, Rhode Island, which is a part of Narragansett, Rhode Island. And these were taken 3 different times, but they look similar. Just kind of capturing the gorgeous water and the sunset.
And who's this in this picture?
This is my middle child, Julia, and I selected this one because I liked to kind of fit in with the home away from home theme. It says Belmont. She's wearing a Belmont t-shirt, and but she's right there at the beach. And this is my husband, Kevin Cunningham, and I was practicing practicing with silhouette, trying to see if I could expose it properly. So yeah, it's just wanted to capture my home when I'm not home.
And Lisa's also a writer. Some of you may recognize her name from the Belmont Patch column that comes out every Tuesday. You want to talk a little bit about that? What's your column about?
So my column is called Slices of Life, and it's basically Belmont through the perspective of a mom. But I try to keep the articles really varied, sometimes talking about parenting, sometimes talking about local issues, national issues, human interest. I write once a week for Patch, comes out every Tuesday.
And if somebody wanted to read that, how would they find that?
Patch is difficult to navigate, either under Lisa Gabaleria or under Slices of Life, and it's usually up Tuesday from about mid-morning till early evening. But if you don't catch it on Tuesday, you'd have to type in Slices of Life.
And still accessible on the website, it's just not at the top of the website.
Right, it's Patch kind of buries the articles after a day.
Or they could check your Facebook page, Lisa Gabalerio, and that links to all her past columns, which are wonderful.
Thank you.
Anything you want to say? Tell the audience about Art Night, this group, this show.
This is a really amazing group of women that comes together as friends, as artists. We all have a different style, which is really fun to see everyone's styles develop. It's just been a real pleasure and joy to be a part of it. I started out writing poetry and prose, and then developed into photography. And this group is just very nurturing and welcoming, and I just feel really blessed and fortunate to have met all these creative, fun, caring women.
Great, and we'll see you here next year for the art show, Belmont Gallery Art Night 2013 show.
And in May.
And in May. Lisa's having a solo exhibit here in May. Portraits
Studying portraits.
So Lisa's solo February show.
Right, May.
March, Lisa's solo May show, A Study in Portraits, will be here at the gallery at Belmont Media Center. And again, you can find that information on our website. This is Shelley Bertolino, and she has some photographs in this month's exhibit. Shelley, if you could tell us a little bit about your photographs, where they were taken.
Yeah, I'm not a real photographer, but I'm married to one, and my son actually is very good at it. I'm kind of lucky. These photographs are all taken from trips that I've taken, and I think it's a lot easier to do travel photography because there's such great material when you're in a foreign country and everything looks unique and wonderful. So this, you want me to?
Yeah,
Stacey,
perfect.
You want me to talk about these pictures?
Can you tell me about these pictures?
Yes. So this picture was taken in 2009, and it is in Rome of the Tiber River. Below is a photograph in Hong Kong. I was in Hong Kong last month. My sister lives there, so I visited her. She lives on the 26th floor of this building, and I just casually took a snapshot of her building, and my son, who actually knows something about art, told me, like, Mom, I like this picture. So I decided to put it in the show. This photograph was actually like the only one I tried to be a little bit artistic. I was trying to think of things my husband had told me in the past. And in this picture, there were actually 3 boats, and I decided to focus on this one, and I crouched down low in order to get the shadow. So this one was the only intentional, like I want to try to do it. This picture was taken out of the car window. It was taken a year ago in Abu Dhabi. Like I said, it's really easy to take pictures when you travel because there's all this sand and things that you don't see here in your own environment. So anyway, this picture, I just like the lines of it. And again, it was taken in the UAE a year ago from a car window. I was on a little desert safari. So yeah.
And you have a great essay about home and away, which is the theme of this show.
Well, when I saw that the theme was home and away, I thought I really have to be in this show because those are huge themes in my life. Because one, I'm a real homebody, And two, I love to travel. So home and away, it was like, oh yeah, this speaks to me. I traveled a lot before kids. For about 16 years, I didn't travel at all because of kids. And then once my kids got a little bit older, I decided it was time to travel again. So since about 2007, every year I take a trip abroad. So these are my photos.
Great, thank you, Shelley. I want to introduce you to Ann Silverman of Silver Music in Belmont. She's a piano teacher. You heard her playing earlier. Amazing, and she's also a visual artist. This is one of her pieces here. Annie, could you tell us a little bit about this?
Well, this was made over time. Certain parts of it were actually made in high school and college, and this piece. And later on I took that and I used it as kind of a door. Since the theme is home and away, this is kind of a door from one world to another. Then this is some paper that Stacy just gave me one time. She gives me fun things to work with.
And is this from a deck of cards? Is that where that is?
That's from a deck of cards.
Okay.
Yeah. And that's a little rabbit, a broken rabbit. And there was a box pasted on here. And that's why I got this edge. I didn't like it, so I just painted over it, but I kept the edge. And my pieces don't mean anything, they're just fun.
And you have two other pieces in this show. You have this one up here called Up, Up, and Away.
Yeah.
And
that one, I forgot what year, maybe 4 years ago, Stacy got us all to paint mannequins, mosaic mannequins, do anything that we wanted. So I took some photos of my mannequin, of the feet, and then later on I used those images to make a collage. Up, up, and away.
cool. And I just want to point out that Annie's earrings are made by another member of our art group, Martha.
Martha Bazakis made these earrings. Very talented group.
And you have one more picture in the hallway, the purple one.
Right. That one's really purely abstract. A lot of squares in it. When I was in my teens and 20s, I used to go to the Museum of Modern Art, and I saw a lot of that kind of art using shapes, just shapes and color, and it's just fun. Fun at home, that one is called.
Great. Well, thank you, and thank you for being our musical talent this evening. You and Allison together are amazing. And
it was really fun.
And are you playing some more in Belmont in the area?
We'll play at Savino's at May 24th.
Okay.
And a restaurant called All Asia on March 5th.
Great.
It's in Cambridge. Savino's is in Belmont, so come on over.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Thanks, Dave.
And now I'd like you to meet Allison Mannion, who's our singer, as well as one of our artists. And she has two pieces in this. She has two pieces in this show, and they're very different. So maybe she could tell us a little bit about them.
I lived on Shabig Island for a year and did a lot of art while I was there. So I went around the island on a day, took pictures of the doors, and then the meaning behind the artwork is that this was closing a chapter in my life. So shutting doors and new doors were opening. So that's what that's about. That's my away. I love going to Shabig Island. It's a great place to get away. And this is my home piece, which the scarf is made from, I felt like I had to make it because the wool was spun and dyed by my children's grandfather, great-grandfather, excuse me, and I just felt like I needed to make something. I felt really at home in Belmont, and that this was for my daughter, a gift for her out of our family pieces of love. So I made that for her this winter at home in Belmont.
And it's beautiful, and it's felted.
It's felted.
This is knitted, and then
this is
the embellishments are needle felted. It's quite
so
beautiful.
I knit with a mohair, two different types of mohair, and then felted in different wools, raw wool, into the mohair.
And how long have you been a singer?
I've been singing all my life.
And I saw your amazing website. You have a website up now.
Yes.
And you have some local events coming up?
Yes, March 5th at All Asia. It's a Monday from 6:15 to 7:45. And then
Right here in Belmont.
From 8 to 10.
And you're new to Art Night. You're one of the newer members.
Yes, yes.
And
I love going. It's much fun to be had at Art Night.
Excellent.
I've met some wonderful creative people who have inspired me in so many ways. So I'm thankful to have the connections.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
We invite you to come see the current exhibit by the art group Art Night. The exhibit's called Home and Away, and it'll be in the gallery at BMC through February 24th. The hours here are 12 to 8 on Monday through Friday, and Saturday 12 to 5. Please come down and visit.